What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. Man, Jake Paul won. I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't expecting to see him, I wasn't even expecting him to knock dude out. Then to knock dude out in the first round, I'm like, hey, yo, that's some crazy stuff right there, bro. Like, hey, you out there doing something. Like, that's the thing. Before I even get into today's episode, I overall wanted to say that, hey, it might not mean nothing, but I have been doubting Jake Paul since the beginning. I have. Ever since the Comedy Shorts Deji fight. Ever since that fight, I doubted him. I think it was another fight after that. I doubted him. I don't remember who that YouTuber was. The Nate Robinson fight, doubted him. And then even with this fight, I've doubted him. This man has literally went up against people that has called him out. Okay, called him out, and he succeeded. He was. I think every fight he done. Well, maybe not the Deji fight, because I think that was like the one fight. But he did say like that they both wasn't really that trained for the fight. So they he didn't do as good. But they still went the distance and stuff. But let's see here. Yeah, he 3-0, all three of them knockouts. Like that's crazy, man. Professional boxing record. Yeah. It was. I forgot. Eason Gibb. So that was first round knockout. And then the Nate Robinson fight was 2-round, but it was eventually a knockout. And then this Ben Askren, then that was a knockout. I'm like, dang, man. I don't know what this man is doing. I don't know what he got in his system, but that's just crazy. That's just wild to think that he's knocked out everybody that he's went up against. But except Deji, because it was like, I think they was like, it was gonna go all the way to, I think, the final round, I think. And but yeah, Deji, I think it was like, they say he was like respiratory issues, and then they were saying something like they just wasn't that trained. And even I think Jake Paul said that he wasn't all that trained for that fight, so that's why it wasn't he's not doing as good as he is now. Cause, and I honestly, to talk on that real quick. So the reason why I think that he's doing so good now versus how he boxed when he went up against Deji, I don't think he was thinking that boxing match was going to be like that. Overall, yeah, he was getting his hits in, but Deji was getting his hits in too. I can't remember when was the last time I watched that fight, but I remember I watched that fight and I was like, hey, yo, I think if Deji wouldn't have been all winded out and stuff, I honestly think he would have won that fight. And I think a part of Jake Paul seeing that Deji would have won that fight too. So I think that after that fight, Jake Paul, he got down and he started training, all right? He started training his heart out because he did not want to be known as the guy getting knocked out, knocked around, all in boxing. And you got to think about his career on top of that. This man has literally, after Vine, cringiest career ever. One of the cringiest careers ever. That cannot be denied, okay? He got caught up with the Alyssa Violet stuff. He was on the whole Team 10 stuff. It was the whole It's Everyday Bro stuff. So he had that he I don't think he wanted people to remember him as this cringy content creator. So, but that's the thing though. It's that's overall what, people do. It's just overall creating content. But anyways, then on top of that, he just, he had all these kids, just overall being weird towards him. And, being out in front of his house, acting, even though they ain't got nothing to do with things. But overall, he was having a cringy career. Very, very cringy career. So, gets into boxing. He thinks he has a chance. Went up against Deji. That chance was almost taken from him. So, at this point in time, he has to prove himself to the whole world. So, he went up against this Gibb guy. Killed it, okay? And I think everybody has seen that he killed it. Got into it with KSI a little bit. And KSI didn't really want nothing to do with them. So, fast forward. He really starts training, really starts going crazy with this boxing. And then gets, called out by Nate Robinson. Gets into it with Nate Robinson, goes 2 rounds, knocks him out. Then he gets into it with this Ben Askren guy. Ben Askren's now this is, I feel like this was the fight that mattered. this was the fight that had mattered, because everybody, that was the one thing that everybody was saying, was that Ben Askren is a professional fighter. So overall, like, this chance that, this chance, I think that's more so why I think one of the reasons why Jake Paul had knocked out Ben Askren in this fight. I mean, it's like, that's what you always aim for in any, fight, whether it's, UFC or boxing or whatever. But I felt like that he came back to that point in time when he was going up against Deji, and there was overall, saying like how this chance was almost getting taken away from him. So at this point, he's like, I really got to prove myself with this Ben Askren fight. So he had to do what he had to do, knocked him out first round. So at this point, I personally think, like, and maybe I'm just going a little bit too far and beyond, but I'm like, I haven't really seen a whole lot from other people, and I feel like Jake Paul has really been just, killing it with these boxing. Because how long ago was the Nate Robinson fight? That was in November, all right? It doesn't even really seem like it was that long ago, too. So, I mean, he had time to, I don't know what he was really healing, but he had time to heal, relax, train, study his opponent, and all this other stuff. Studied his opponent, knocked him out first round, who is Ben Askren. So, like, at this point, me personally, because I haven't really seen a whole lot of others box. I mean, what? KSI, he had his boxing match. Can't take that away from him. And Logan, he had his. Everybody had theirs. But honestly, I would have to say that Jake Paul will probably be the better boxer right now. When talking YouTube boxing, I personally think that Jake Paul is the better boxer. And as hard as that, because I'm a big KSI fan. So, of course, people are going to be like, oh, KSI is the best boxer. KSI is the best boxer and things. But I haven't seen a whole lot from him. Maybe if him and Jake Paul, if they go up against each other, then I'd be like, okay, now it's like, now we're talking, all right? Now, like, both they're, around the same, both around the same age. Both, they take this boxing stuff seriously. Both are, young. So at this point, I feel like that would have to be Jake Paul's next opponent to really prove himself. He went up against somebody that's like, been calling them out ever since this whole like YouTube boxing stuff had started. Because I remember that was one of the things that KSI had said when he went up against who was that guy's name? Joe Weller. Was that his name? I think that was his name. Joe Weller. Positive that is his name. They say he's a musical artist, I guess. Oh yeah, Joe Weller. So ever since there's like, he made a tweet out saying KSI versus Jake Paul is the natural fight that people want. Either that or Conor McGregor. Either way, it's like, fam, whoever Jake Paul goes up against this next fight, he's gonna have to choose somebody that's like, because I know everybody's gonna probably be saying that, oh, he went up against a guy that was too old. I'm like, yeah, but look at, my thing is like, I can't really compare LeBron James, because yeah, LeBron James, how old is he? I need to move my headphones out the way real quick. But to just overall, like, yes, I am defending Logan, or not Logan. I know the difference between the two brothers, but I'm defending Jake Paul right now. I am actually defending him, cause okay, so LeBron James is 36 years old, same age as Ben Askren. So my thing is that LeBron James, he's out there on the court going up against all of these young guys that just got out of college, guys that are like, that should be playing up against his kids pretty much, right? So LeBron James, he's going up against these young people, and guess what he did last season? He won a championship. Him and his team won a championship. And LeBron James is 36. And he's doing, I think him and his team, the Lakers, they're doing good right now. Let's see what their record is right now, or this season. Yeah, they just won their last game. They're 35. Dang, they're 35 and 22. They went up against the Utah Jazz that's 42 and 15. Dang, what is going on there? I mean, they still winning, but dang, what? Okay, I didn't realize. Well, I think Dennis Schroeder Scary Warren for the rest of the NBA if the Lakers take down Jazz. Okay, I'm trying to see if they were like injured or something. And I was like, that's why that's why that team, or they were like overall. Well, even if they are injured, I'm like, y'all shouldn't be no 22 game like or 22 L's in. But regardless, all right, that's not the point. Point is, LeBron James is the same age as Ben Askren. LeBron James is out there going up against 20-year-old guys, trying to challenge him, trying to muscle him out, trying to, do all these different things to just pretty much like have people thinking, oh, you ain't nothing but just this old man. You ain't doing that. You ain't doing nothing special. But look at him. Look at freaking Tom Brady. Tom Brady, he's 43 years old. He's older than LeBron James and Ben Askren. Tom Brady, he is 43 years old, and he just recently won. He created or he was born on the same day I created my YouTube channel. Wow, that's crazy. But I'm just saying though, like these guys, they are going up against young people every single day. And Ben Askren, let's see who his last opponent was in UFC, mixed martial arts record. So last person he went up against, the person is 43 years old. Dang. So he went up against somebody that is slightly older than him. And the fight before that went up against somebody same age as him. Then the fight that he won, that person was a little bit older than him. Another fight that he won, 37. What about this fight? Now it's just like a lot of guys that's like either like older or slightly older, slightly, younger. But overall, it's like, he's going up against people same age as him in the UFC. So my thing is that it shouldn't matter, with age. And I know people might, disagree with that. They'll argue with that. But like I gave you guys good examples. And there's sports out there. It's like it might not be as physical as boxing and UFC, but there are some physical sports out there. Football, prime example, where there's players same age as Ben Askren, same age as Tom Brady and LeBron James and all that. They in their like late 30s or early 40s and stuff. And they out there going up against guys that's in their 20s. I'm pretty sure at some point in time, this last season with LeBron, or not with LeBron James, but with Tom Brady, I'm positive that he got sacked or tackled by somebody that was younger than him. So I'm saying, like, you can't. I feel like that's an excuse that we can't hide behind forever. Like, and I remember that was one of the things I was saying with Nate Robinson, because Nate Robinson, he is, how old is he? Hold on for a second, I gotta go back. Nate Robinson, he's 36 years old, all right? So everybody was saying that with Nate Robinson. I'm like, like I said, once again, but even, okay, if we're going to talk on that, and Eson Gibb, how old is he? And Jake Paul went against him. He is, let's see, 96. Okay, so he's a year older than Jake Paul. And yeah, it's like, fam, like he went up against somebody that he was the same age as him. That was his first fight. He won. He went up against somebody that was 36. He won. And that guy, it was like, I mean, the thing was, is like, okay, if that's the case where it's like they're too old, they're too this, they're too that, wouldn't you think that there would be rules behind it? Like, okay, well, we gotta have it to have it, because it's just like with weight, height, and all that. Where, well, maybe not so much height, but definitely weight, where it's like, okay, you can't be slightly bigger than this person. You can't be a pound over, a pound under. It's like, y'all gotta be, roughly the same, or just overall in a certain division. So you gotta be in a cruiserweight, or a light heavyweight, or, super heavyweight, whatever. You have to be in a certain fight class, or weight class and things to go up against each other. So my thing is, like, why aren't they doing that with age, if that's the case? And I honestly don't think that that's the case. I just personally think that Jake Paul is a good boxer. Like, now I see it. Now I see the vision. Now I see, what everybody that's Jake Paul fans, what they've been saying. So I'm like, yeah, it's like, I can't doubt him. No, I am going to doubt him, because that's just what I'm going to do. But at the end of the day, I do respect him. I do respect Jake Paul. That's one thing that I can't, I can't take that away from nobody. I can't take it. Like, I have to respect him, because I'm like, man's out here, he's killing it right now in boxing. So it's like, yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, despite how I overall feel about him, he's not my all-time favorite YouTuber. It's like, he'd probably be like in the, maybe, I don't know, last YouTuber that I would watch. Like, I'd watch, well, actually, no, I take that back. I'll probably watch a Jake Paul video before. There are some YouTubers that I know where I'm like, nah, I'd rather sit down and watch me some Jake Paul videos. But anyways, but no, congratulations to Jake Paul. Yeah, it's crazy to see all this stuff happening with them. But yeah, and that being said, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching or listening, however you're viewing this. Make sure you like and subscribe if you're viewing this on YouTube. Follow or subscribe if you're viewing this on the podcast streaming service. Make sure you subscribe to one of my 31 YouTube channels. Follow me on Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook at TMossBoss. Until next time, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys. Once again, congrats to Jake Paul. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.